All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day of SaberSim's DFS office hours. Today is Friday, April 5th of 2024. Looking ahead, we have a 7-game MLB main slate today. We have a 10-game NBA main slate, 6-game NHL main slate, and we have trucks for NASCAR. So it should be a fun day of DFS. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Andrew. I am one of the coaches over here at SaberSim. This is a show where we go over how to use the SaberSim app, answer any and all DFS related questions. You get your questions in one of three ways here. First off, send us an email, support@sabersim.com. Second, post it live in the YouTube chat. Third way, post it in the office hours channel in our Discord server. If you're not in our Discord and want to get access to that channel, there is a link in the description of this video. You also get access to our similar channels, individual sport channels, and you get access to the rest of the SaberSim team. So can't say enough good things about the Discord. But with that said, we do the show Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, and we do the show on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. So make sure to tune in tomorrow for some weekend office hours. But with that said, we're going to get the app pulled up here. Going to jump into the questions that came in the Discord first, as always. If you have questions, now is always a good time to get those in the queue here so we can get to all the questions before the end of the show. So first question from Kevlar. Is there a way to only generate lineups with stacks that include just certain batting orders or exclude certain ones like the 9-hitter? You might want to check out the stacking rules for this. So I would go over to the settings, go to your lineup rules. In your stack settings here, there is an option for batting order. So if you're like, hey, stack at least 5 players, you can even control what team they're on, right? So like, hey, I want to stack at least 5. And I never want to use the 9-hitter, right? You just go and uncheck, and then that makes that batting order ineligible for the 5 stack in every single lineup that you build. So I would mess around with that. You could even go as far to go to advanced stacks and have like positional requirements. Depends how in the weeds you want to get here. But I think your basic option here with excluding the batting order will probably be the best option for you. All right. Next question here. Question says, do the Sims run against the lineups that I create or against a pool of lineups based on projected ownership? Specifically, I'd like to know if I say X out a team or players from my pool, then build lineups. Do the Sims show my lineups fare against the expected field, or does the field also exclude the teams or players I X'd out? Okay, so this is a good question. Good time to review how the contest sim works here. So let's say that, I'm playing a contest today, right? First thing I'm going to do is go and set up my contest sim. So maybe I'm playing the $1 max, right? The solo shot. So when I go, I right click on the contest in the contest tab. I click the add contest sim pop up, and then it's going to autofill the information. So one of the things that it is autofilling here is the set of field lineups. Now, what are the field lineups, right? So first I'm just going to save my contest sim. So if you want to see what the field lineups are, you go underneath the contest tab. So you can close the contest tab, open up this field lineups drop down. So these are all of our different buckets of ownership. Now, the way that the ownership projections are created, basically what happens is we run ownership builds, and then the exposures from those builds become the ownership projections. And we have 13 different sets of ownership. So when I come into this and I click on low stakes 20 max, which is what the $1 20 max field lineups were, it's going to load all of the lineups. So these are the 10,000 lineups that are creating the ownership projections. And then I can open up the players tab, and then the exposures that I'm seeing are indeed the ownership projections from this build. They are the exposures. Okay. So what happens is, when you build lineups, say in build 1, what we do is we take your lineups that you built individually, one by one. We put them into a hypothetical behind the scenes contest with the field lineups. So think about a contest that has, if your contest size is greater than 10,000, then the contest is going to be 10,001 entries. It's going to be the 10,000 field plus your one lineup at a time. And then we play that out 100,000 times. Okay. If your contest size is lower than the field lineups, what we do is we randomly sample however many lineups we need. So say your contest is only 2,000 entries. Well, each time we run the contest sim, we will randomly grab 2,000 lineups from the 10,000 and then use those in the contest sim. And then over 100,000 contest size sample, all of the differences in ownership and things like that get smoothed out. Okay. So when you run the contest sim, it is always against the field lineups by default. So if you X out a team in your set of lineups, that team is not X'd out in the field lineups. Those players still have ownership projections. Those players still have exposures in these ownership builds. So whatever you do to your lineups is not going to affect the field lineups. The field lineups are static. So important to remember that. The only way to have your contest sim take into account the changes that you made is if you change the source of your contest sim for the field lineups to be the build that you ran. So what you could do here is if you wanted to, you could manually go and change the field lineup source to your own build. Or if you have custom ownership and you want to create your own field, you could set the source to another build with another set of lineups. So as long as you have a build and the build has lineups in it, then this build is, or this set of lineups is going to be an option as the field lineup. So if I were to go to my settings here, I go to my contest sim settings, I open up this solo shot, and then I open the field lineups. Well, I can go in here and then I could change the source to build one. So if what would happen is now I am contest simming against myself. And then if I excluded teams, then those teams would no longer be accounted for. So sounds like that's not what you want to do. I would just stick with the static set of field lineups and you should be all set. But good question. Very good clarification. All right. Question from In It to Bink It. Question said, is there a way to see what the Sims said about your ROI at lock compared to live in PGA? Good question. So it sounds like you're looking for like the post-contest Sims. The post-contest Sims will not be available until the contest is over. So throughout, Thursday to Sunday as golf plays the full tournament, we are just going to be showing the live leaderboard with the live sims and the live win percent and all that stuff. And then once the contest is finished, and usually the next day, the contest finishes on Sunday, usually by Monday, we will have the post-contest sims up where you can see how your lineups did over the course of the weekend in the post-contest sim. So be on the lookout for that info becoming available on Monday. But all right. Looks like we are all caught up with questions here in both the Office Hours channel and the YouTube chat. So it might be a nice short show today. I will be right back here 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. So pretty quick turnaround. So if you guys have questions heading into the weekend, get those in the queue early, drop them in the Office Hours channel, drop them in the upcoming stream link on YouTube, and I will answer those tomorrow morning. So until then, everybody take care. Good luck. I'll see you all. Thanks. Bye.